Welcome to this mini episode of By the Way, a contemporary art news podcast. My name is Eric, and I'm an artist and art professional up here in Stockholm. Today we are talking about Postmasters Gallery. The longtime art gallery Postmasters in New York City is trying something new and something that's a little bit risky. They're facing similar issues that other galleries in New York City, as well as galleries in general, have been facing over the past decade. We've kind of spoke about those issues in the past episodes of By the Way, so go back and check out those if you're interested. But very broadly, those include raising costs for operating an art space, high rents, overspending, art fairs, and the inability to attract new clients. So what is it that Postmasters New York City is actually doing that I believe is kind of a little risky? Is they've actually set up a Patreon page and a Patreon campaign to raise money to cover a lot of their operating costs. This is a couple quotes from various interviews that they've done, as well as their Patreon page, that I think help describe what conditions, what their thought process is, and what they're hoping to get out of this. So this is directly from their Patreon page and from the owner. The overwhelming dominance of economic inequalities are fatally hollowing out the system that previously enabled a varied set of galleries, institutions, and artists to persevere and thrive. And also has said, simply put, our program cannot survive in the system as it presently exists. Rather than optimizing our program so that it fits the current market trends, we see a new way forward in this model. So there you go. And what are they hoping to raise via this new model financially? It says actually to cover about 40 to 50% of their operating expenses, so we can continue to fund projects that are not immediately profit producing. So here's another quote that I think is quite interesting on how the art community might react to them setting up this Patreon campaign. The gallery system is not healthy. The best places are shutting down. The top is thriving, and everybody else is chasing less and less money and trying via different strategies to survive, just like in the real world. And then she goes on also to say in another interview, the art market is very conservative. So the no-brainer thinking on our part was to reach out to the community of supporters, old and new, that want spaces like Postmasters to exist. I'm not sure if I agree with the direction that Postmasters has taken by starting this Patreon campaign, as I think it kind of devalues the art space as well as some of the artists. And without knowing exactly what was going on, and I believe that there's probably a lot more than we are going to ever find out, this kind of does feel like a little bit of a last-ditch effort to keep the doors open. If you think they're doing the right thing, then go ahead and donate to Postmasters. As always, thank you for listening to this mini episode of By the Way, and please send me your opinions on the Postmasters gallery approach, and if you think it's right, and maybe if we get some good feedback, we'll go ahead and share that on a future episode of By the Way. And until the next episode comes out of By the Way, go check out the Art Conversation podcast, where Jenny Danielsson, my co-host from episode 11, Los Angeles and the Shrinkage in the art market, was interviewed about a few weeks ago, but the episode just dropped earlier this week. So go check that out.